Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, we're going to be answering the question, can you build muscle from stretching? But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, so like I said, today we're going to be answering the question, can you build muscle stretching? Now at first thought, your mind might go right to the answer of, well, no, you're just stretching, right? We're talking about flexibility here, right? Well, let's not be so quick here to judge before we come to a conclusion, because more recently there's actually been some studies that have shown that taking a muscle through its full range of motion, or in another word, to its full length and stretch, has produced more muscle than when an individual doesn't, or when the individual shortens the reps. So we're actually learning in cases like squat depth and bicep and tricep lengthening, okay, working those muscles through their full stretch and range of motion actually produces more hypertrophy. And we're talking specifically about muscle gain here. Muscle gain happens at full length in greater capacity. So in squats, they've actually shown that the glutes have been about 3 times greater growth when the full range depth is being used. And in biceps and triceps, it's about 1.5 times at fuller length. Now, how can this be? Well, it's because a lot of us don't actually see strength training for the stretching that it is. It's just what we would call a loaded stretch. So when we're doing strength training, okay, and we are loading muscles and we're stretching through that load, we are taking the muscle, the sarcomere, the individual muscle fibers, to their greatest degree of tension possible, because we are expanding them through their range of motion that is fully given to them, and then taking them and contracting them back through that full range of motion. And when we take a muscle through its full lengthening, eccentric portion, the lengthening portion of that, that actually generates more force overall. Our muscles grow. The main thing that makes our muscles grow is mechanical tension. So if we're doing it through a greater range of motion, when we're doing our strength training and using it through a full range of motion and stretching in that capacity, then we are increasing the amount of mechanical tension that's being used to create a greater hypertrophy. So when you account for volume, reps and sets equated out, and you change the range of motion to change the flexibility required of the exercise, you get greater hypertrophy. So that was a bit of a mouthful right there, but the simple answer is yes, you can build muscle stretching because of the mechanical tension that you can create through a greater range of motion overall. Now, again, it's the fact that most people aren't stretching in a way that is going to actually generate, or thinking of their strength training in a way that is actually going to generate these types of hypertrophy as a result of their training. Now, when I work with people, we talk about mobility a lot. And my equation for mobility is range of motion plus flexibility plus the stability or strength. So when you put all 3 of those together, it actually makes up the concept that we want to work the joint through its full capacity and range of motion, which will take different tissues depending on the angle to their full length under tension, which will also create more stability and strength and requires a certain level of stability and strength. So when you put it like that, it should make more sense that when we stretch, we can actually create hypertrophy. And we have to think of it more in the terms of when we want to generate mobility, not just stretching or thinking of our old school ideas of swinging a leg up on a chair or, going into bending over and touching the toes to the floor. Those aren't the types of stretches that are going to do it. Okay? It's going to be when you intentionally load up tissues in different positions and take those muscles to their fullest range of motion and flexibility that they currently have, and even kind of push through that, taking those sarcomeres, those muscles, to their fullest tension and range. That's where you're going to see the hypertrophy happen. So your answer is yes, stretching can benefit you in the way of hypertrophy. It's a matter of how you design the programming and how you actually go about doing it, more so than whether or not it's actually something that can create it. Hopefully you found this helpful today. Go ahead and put it into use now. So think of your strength training as an opportunity to create more flexibility and to also generate more stability through range of motion, which comes out to your mobility as you move forward from here. All right, and there you have it. Can you build muscle stretching? The simple answer, yes. The more technical one, hopefully it's changed your perspective on strength training and stretching in general and how you view going about improving your mobility. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend who's been shortening up their reps in the gym. Give them a reason to lengthen those out a little bit, or who's been going about stretching and really resisting the idea of stretching and flexibility training, even though they know they want to improve their mobility overall. Help them out, pass it their way. If you're somebody who struggles with training aches and injuries, and you've had maybe a nagging ache that's been lingering for some time now, or an old injury that bothers you in the gym and you want to get that resolved, what I want you to do is drop down below in the description here and fill out the coaching application so that you can get your mobility blueprint call scheduled. What we'll do on the call is assess your current movement, talk about the specific tailored mobility program that we would give you, and give you the clear direction and guidance that you would need, answer any questions that you have about coaching and programming online, and have you moving forward from there. So if that sounds good to you, if you have a training ache or injury that has been nagging you for a while, you simply want to improve your mobility, that's even something we can work on. Go ahead and drop down in the description right now, fill out that coaching application, get your call scheduled, and we'll start moving in the right direction. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it doesn't get better than that. Welcome to the Strong Old Army. We'll see you next week.